Hey, what's up? It's the Soda City Beer Show. My name is Hunter.
Hi, I'm Sadie.
Okay, so we've got an interesting thing here because we're getting ready for Soda City Suds Week, which is awesome. That starts March 18th, just in case, and it's just a week of debauchery, really. That's the way we're doing it.
It's a week of drinking beer, which we enjoy.
Now, we've been off for a while, but there's a reason why. See, we both have tooth problems.
Oh, my gosh.
This is really weird. I've never had this happen. I don't think it's ever happened to me ever. Pretty good teeth. I ended up having a cracked molar this week, so I had a tooth extraction on Monday. You just went to the dentist today.
Yeah, because I had a filling come out, so I had to get my filling refilled.
So we're kind of jacked up right now. Now, what they said is I was supposed to take it easy this week. I just took the final antibiotic yesterday, so
You're ready to drink beer because you haven't drank in over a week now.
It's been a whole week that I've had nothing in my system, which is going to be interesting to see. So we came here to Swamp Cabbage tonight.
Yes.
We wanted to start out the right way with a flight. They've got some incredible beers here. We're going to be talking to Doug, the master brewer. I started out with an Oxbow Amber. I wanted to make sure I said it the right way. So I'm going to start out light, and we're going to go from here, and then we're going to talk about all these great beers that you can get, and also stuff that you can do during Soda City Suds Week.
Yes, and I have the blonde, because I prefer blondes.
Right, and if I pass out, it's because of the drugs.
It's because you're a wimp.
Or something like that. So cheers.
I've already drank most of mine.
We'll sit down with Doug here in just a little bit. This is the Soda City. What is our show? Told you.
Here, we'll just do this. It's backwards because we're reversed.
This is the Soda City Beer Show. Great way to start out here at Swamp Cabbage. It's the Soda City Beer Show. We're here at Swamp Cabbage, getting ready, prepping, so to speak, for Soda City Suds Week, which starts up on March 18th.
Which means we need to start prepping now if we want to be ready.
Now, we both just explained that we had tooth problems. It's crazy. I've never seen two people have tooth problems at the same time.
No.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
So I just got off, and I'm getting back into my beer drinking thing. I love craft beer. We're sitting here with Doug, master brewer here at Swamp Cabbage. So I started out with the Oxbow Amber. So let's start right there on this particular beer. Tell me a little bit about this, because it's very light. Great way to go in, I think, especially if you're new to craft beer. We always try to do that with people.
Yeah, so the Oxbow Amber was one we've tweaked several times throughout the couple of years we've been here. It started off a little too hoppy, then it got a little too malty, so we finally found that nice balance between that hoppiness and that maltiness, and I think it starts off nice with a little bit of maltiness, and that hop gets you at the end, but it's not like IPA or anything.
I like that character,
but it's not bitter.
And that's one of the things I want to talk about. You guys are only 2.5 years old, so you're really a young brewery.
That is correct.
And there's a lot of new things coming into South Carolina as of late with all these laws. It looks like they're getting a little more lax. Am I correct?
They are, absolutely. Yeah,
so this is good for you.
A lot. Yeah.
So how did it start out then?
With us, me, of course, like a lot of brewers, you start off home brewing, and you passion kind of grows from there, and you get excited about what you're producing, and you get people excited about what you're brewing, and then you kind of. For us, it was now, at the time when we thought about Swamp Cabbage, our original business plan, so we would be the first production brewery in Columbia, which obviously didn't happen because, the two others opened up first, which was not a discouragement, it was an encouragement, knowing that craft beer was actually wanted and accepted in the market. So it was actually a good thing, actually, so we could kind of learn from the other breweries as well, as what they're doing, what we need to do, and grow from there. So as I decided to open up Swamp Cabbage, I went to different breweries around South Carolina, North Carolina, kind of get some tips on the business side and the brewing side on a big system and stuff. And everybody was very helpful. Every brewery I went to was very, very open and very helpful with getting me into the industry.
Well, that's one thing I think
seems to be the consensus. Yeah, most brewers are
like, it's more of a family. I mean, there's some competition there, but it's not like you're going to cut each other's throats, that kind of thing.
I mean, every brewery, we all do browns or ambers or blondes and stuff.
Right.
They're not all tasting the same.
Exactly.
So even though it's a competition, maybe not really competitive because it's different.
It is.
Each beer is different, no matter how you do it. So.
All right. So I'm moving on to the Weiss beer, right? Okay. So what? And this is one of your new ones. So give me a little idea before I try this. What I'm ready for.
That was just a light wheat beer. It's obviously a little bit darker than some. We've done 3 wheat beers. We've done a Dunkel Weiss, which is very popular as well. This is our Weiss beer. It's a little lighter version of that, so we figure we see how that goes in the spring.
Okay.
And then in the fall and winter, we do a Weizenbock, which is a high gravity version of a wheat beer.
Oh, I like it.
So what are you getting out of that?
It is really, really light. Like, it's got a really nice light flavor, really good. I could drink this sitting out on my back porch, kind of a deal.
I love those porch beers too. Those are all.
Yeah.
Those are one of the things I look for.
But it's got a good flavor. Like it's not overpowering, but like it's got good flavor to it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, the yeast gives off a little bit of banana and clove to it as well, but it's not overdone with banana or clove. It's nice we started. Because if you do this yeast, if you do it too high fermentation, you get a really banana-y and almost too much banana. And
You get that
Right.
Willy Wonka runts flavor. I've
Laffy
had that.
Taffy.
No, Laffy Taffy, yes. I'm not ripping on runts. I enjoy it.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
On the beer, just drink them
No,
all up.
not a beer.
Yeah, I've had some Laffy Taffy beers. It's
Yeah, it is a weird thing. We're here with Doug with Swamp Cabbage. Of course, we're going to come back and finish up the rest of these flights. We invite you, of course, to come down to Swamp Cabbage anytime, and not forget the bottle exchange, which is going on. Bottle and share. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm still on.
He's on hydros.
I'm not on hydros right now. I want to point that out enough. I had a long week with the tooth thing going out, so my brain's not necessarily firing the normal way. But
Bottle share.
You have a bottle share. This comes on Saturday, so it's just 2 to 5. You can come on
right.
down here.
Bring a bottle, share it.
And that's the way to do it. And it's
Yeah.
a great inside, too. We're going to take you around and kind of show you the inside. Love to.
It looks like we're outside, but we're inside.
Which is nice.
I
'cause
like
it's
it.
chilly tonight.
It is a little chilly tonight.
It's the Soda City Beer Show, getting ready for Soda City Suds Week at Swamp Cabbage.
That's it. Yeah, we're good.
At Swamp Cabbage, getting ready for.
Soda City Suds Week.
Yes, and I'm looking at the Weizenbach because I read 7.5 and you said
It might be a little bit.
just a little bit.
Yeah, well,
It's a good way to keep things moving.
Yes.
tonight. We're with Doug, the master brewer. Now, this place has only been open for about 2.5 years, so some of y'all maybe haven't even been here yet. We invite y'all to do that. There's a bottle share that happens on Saturday from 2 to 5. Yeah, that's
I
good,
really
right?
like
That's
that,
the anniversary
yeah.
beer.
It's really good.
And that's your 2-year anniversary beer.
That is correct.
Still available now?
Yeah, we still have it in bombers here.
All right, so you
Yeah,
can come
you
on
should
by
come
and
get
get your
some. That's
bomber. And I would
delicious.
highly recommend it because it's
Yeah.
very tasty. Now, tell me a little bit about this particular beer.
Yeah, so it was we had a Dunkelweiss, like I've told you before, that was very popular. But for our 2-year anniversary, we decided to ramp it up to a Bach size, and so we did the Weizenbach for our 2-year anniversary. We did a different anniversary beer every year. So it was like the first year we did a strong ale. This year we did a Weizenbach. They're going to be higher gravity beers each time.
Okay.
But they're going to change as well.
Do you have any ideas for what you want to do for the third year?
I've
Because
got
it's
a-
coming in like about 6 months?
Yeah, I've got a couple ideas. I just have to.
Yeah, and
nail
you're
down-
going to leak those out or no? You're just going to
No,
keep
yeah,
those inside?
because
The
I-
scientist is still
sorry.
brewing in his head.
It may change. I've got a couple ideas, and I don't want to. It could change. So, but
Yeah.
I do have a couple ideas, and it will be high gravity. So.
And we will be
Now
here.
explain high gravity for people that are just getting into craft beer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a higher percentage of alcohol is the best way to talk about it. Usually, a lot of beers are
You're like, yeah.
Around 5% alcohol.
Those are the sessionable beers.
Yeah, those are-
supposedly.
So
so-
what, like a, and I don't drink them. Like a Bud Light is what, like a 3.5% or something like that, or is it even that much?
Yes, it's
It
probably
is,
closer
okay.
to about 4 or 5, and probably 4ish. It all depends. Like the Amber Bach is 5.5% or 5.6%.
Okay. But we're looking at 7.5 with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's awesome is when you don't know you're drinking high gravity beer, and then about 2 beers in, you're like, why do I feel funny? And then
Stand
you're
up
like,
for the first time.
oh yeah, it's 7.5%. That would be why.
We're going to finish up this flight here on the next flight.
They
And I
keep
want to-
adding things to our
I know,
flights.
we came in with 4, and now
we're
we've got
on 5.
5,
Yeah,
which is something
I'm not
gonna deal with.
complaining.
But I want to talk because Doug has a daughter that is getting behind the wheel of a car. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that because you haven't gone for the ride.
No, not yet.
All right,
Like,
we'll
So
talk
this-
about that coming up.
Yeah, this happened today though.
And we're going to do that over an
So-
IPA.
Okay.
I think which is a good way to do it because I'm a big IPA guy. So we'll
Okay.
do that next. You're listening to, or watching, I should say.
Yeah,
the
we're
Soda-
watching.
Well, I'm used
we're
to radio.
I know. We're usually just talking. You can't see us.
Yeah.
Which is good.
It was
usually.
good.
Space for radio.
Thank you. Thank you. It's the Soda City Beer Show. This is the Soda City Beer Show. We are live at Swamp Cabbage right now. We're getting ready for Soda City Suds Week. By the way, a reminder, grabbing your beer. Cameraman's grabbing his beer.
He's
That's
really
a good
cute,
one.
by the way.
He's all right. March 18th is when it starts up. We
Yes.
kind of wanted to get the pregame started right now. And we're going over a couple of things here at Swamp Cabbage and the brainchild behind everything that's going on. And we're talking about the creative process because one thing that I think I've always felt, at least between brewing and maybe radio a little bit, is we put ourselves out there. So
We
like
do.
when people don't understand, like you could be looking at me right now going,
What an idiot! I hate
what an
this
idiot!
guy.
Look at him. He's missing a tooth. Yeah, exactly. I got it extracted. So there's like a lot of stuff that when you put yourself out there in a creative situation, and I believe that this is one of those things.
Yeah.
You're putting it out there and you kind of obsess over it. It's your baby. do you feel like that when you're doing each beer?
Oh, yeah.
You're putting so much into it. You got to name it. You got to coddle it. You got to put it here and suckle it. You know, I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah, it is a lot on the line when you're putting out a beer, especially if it's a new beer, even if it's one you've done before, because you want to make it taste just like you did last time. And that's kind of what you worry about as a brewer is, did I make it taste like the last version? And if it's a new one, you don't know how it's going to turn out because this is a new recipe, so you do it, and then you got to wait for the weeks of fermentation, and you're sampling. And beers go through a lot of weird phases during fermentation, and they can taste pretty bad. At one point, you're going, "Oh my gosh, this is not going to turn out."
This is a nightmare.
And then after fermentation, you get the drop out the yeast, and you start sampling. You go, okay, well, that actually is where I wanted it to be. But there's lots of worries and panic moments throughout the brewing process, and so because you are putting yourself out up there on the line for judgment for.
For the
lots of
masses.
people. For the masses,
Well, we get that all the time. So like,
Yes.
we'll go on the radio and we'll say something, and I'll get on our Facebook page.
Oh my
Beer,
gosh.
and then you're like, you're writing Facebook. All right, you're general manager. Today, I heard him say blah 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 blah, blah. And it's kind of the same thing because you had a situation where you got a guy came in, right, and he didn't care for.
He wasn't a craft beer drinker.
He was a Bud Light Lime guy.
Yeah, that's right. So he's been drinking Bud Light all day, and he came down. It was a football.
I can get
Saturday.
ratchet.
Yeah. So he came down and
Didn't like your beer.
wanted the lightest thing we had. So I gave him the blonde, and he still didn't care for it, and just couldn't understand why people were in our tap room with this beer, and wanted to.
And he was being vocal about it, though.
very
vocal.
And that's a problem. Like,
And some of
just be
our
nice.
some of our loyal customers were going to stand up for me and say,
Oh.
"Get out." I was like, "No, just let them be."
You got to let
Simmer
them have
down,
them.
yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You kind of have to let them wash over you a little.
And actually, and so he tried to water it down with water, and it still didn't please him. So,
Don't put water in your beer. Please don't do that. Beer is just
when you start-
delicious. If you don't like it, just don't drink
that's
it.
all right. You can just say I didn't like it and leave.
Yeah.
That's fine too. But he was drunk. So, and like I said, we get
Yeah,
some
but that's
customers
always
that
like
were
the
trying
excuse,
to-
right? Like,
Yeah.
I was drinking, man. I was making mistakes.
And his kids were with him, and they were all actually old enough
His
to drink.
kids
good.
were
That's
with him?
hashtag
Well, they were older
parenting.
kids. They were older. They were old enough to drink, so they were
Oh, okay.
adults.
That's a little
so-
different.
But showing,
So,
leading the way.
But they
Leading
were
the
embarrassed,
way.
of course, because they actually do enjoy a beer and come here a lot. So they were kind of like, I can't.
Dad,
believe
you're embarrassing us. God, Dad.
I know. And it's one of
anyway.
those things where it's like, just don't be rude. But I think people don't understand it. How much time and effort goes into dreaming up. I mean, like if
Yeah.
you start. I just picked up your Chipotle. So if you're talking from when you think about it till it becomes through fermentation, what kind of process is that? And how long does that take you when you're thinking of a new beer?
Yeah, so from brew day throughout fermentation, to really know how the beer tastes, you're looking at 3 to 4 weeks or so before you can actually determine. Maybe 2 weeks you can kind of start getting a better feel because early on in fermentation, obviously it's very sweet because the sugars are still in there.
Right.
Then a week later, there's less sugars, but there's still sweetness, so you have to wait till all those sugars are fermented.
See, I'm not
and,
patient enough for that. My husband and his
so-
friends right now, they're brewing mead at home. I love mead, but we've been doing it. I mean, it's been like 2 weeks now, and I'm like, okay, y'all, when is this going to be ready? Like, I want to try this now, and of course, it's not
Not like
even.
another 3 months.
See, I can't wait that long to drink.
That's your problem.
Yeah, it is. That's
it's
another
a-
show. We
but
need to
that-
talk about that later.
We'll get into that. Well, I want to talk about this one because I love Chipotle.
right.
So this is obviously a little bit more of a spicy. So what went into this one? Because I love you're getting the. What's nice is you get the spice coming on at the end, but it starts out a little bit spicy, but finishes nice too.
Yeah, so this is actually the Oxbow Amber that we actually just infused.
Oh, so you infused that with the Oxbow?
That
Okay,
is
okay.
correct. So what we started doing as of last spring, we actually every time I brew a beer that I think would go well with some type of pepper, I'll just keg a few kegs of it with some peppers that we've made like an extract with. So we'll take. Chipotle with the amber tastes really good. That smoky and that's something.
Yeah, you get the smoky on the end. Yeah,
and it's there, and it really sits well with the amber. And one that really was a big hit last spring was our blonde ale with lime and jalapeno. And
See,
nice.
I love when people do stuff like that.
So it was our lime jalapeno is what we called it.
Oh, cute.
It
I
smelled
like
like
that.
a fresh jalapeno. Didn't have a big burn, but it had the flavor. And then you had that little hint of lime in there to balance that out too. So it was really nicely done. A lot of people really enjoyed that one. So next time I do the blonde, I'll probably do several kegs of it.
That'd be a really good like Cinco de Mayo beer.
Right.
Like that would be great.
Like it's
Yeah.
cooked in.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really fantastic. This is the kind of stuff I love. I love it when you're able to pull flavor in and you really get the hints and the notes on the flavor and things like that. So this is really well done. This is one of those things that I'd have 2 or 3 of these because I really like the hot spicy stuff.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
people
really
like the pepper beers that we've done because we haven't don't overdo it with the spice where you just
Yeah,
can't
it's not
drink
like it's not burning your mouth.
You're not gonna
Right,
start
yeah.
sweating and
You get the kick.
It's there, you know it's there, but it's not burning your tongue and making your lips swollen and all that. So
All right, so I'm moving on to the Mary Cinemas.
that is
Cute
correct.
name, by the way.
Yeah, so this is our winter ale that we do. We did it 2 years ago originally. It was also based off of an amber ale.
Want to go
That,
right there.
that one didn't. It was an amber ale that just didn't quite ferment exactly the way. It wasn't bad. It was when you start having those moments where do I want this back out as the amber?
Yeah.
Let's just do something different with. So we just
Right.
infused some cinnamon into it,
It's really
and
good.
people really liked it.
I do
Now
really
2
like
years ago, it was very Mary Cinnamon because there's a lot of cinnamon in there.
Okay.
And so this year we decided to turn it down just a little bit. We can get the hint of the cinnamon,
Yeah.
and the flavors there, but it's not overpowering the malty, the beer itself. So you still get the beer.
You get it.
Wow, that's really good.
It is really good. You get it at first, but then it kind of settles down, and then there's still kind of an aftertaste of it. But it's not overwhelming because I like cinnamon, but I don't like a ton of cinnamon.
Oh, see,
I
I'm a
just want-
cinnamon junkie.
Are
This-
you really?
Yeah, this stuff. Yeah, I
Probably
love
But I
like the
love
first one.
this.
yeah.
No, I love this. This is great.
Yeah, see, it's really. I put cinnamon in my coffee, everything. So I
Mm-hmm.
really like this a lot.
It's become like I didn't do it last year, and I got a lot of feedback from the customers like,
Where is it?
There's a family that came down with growlers last year going, I went to Mary Cinnamon this December. I'm like, well, I didn't do it this year. Like, oh. It's like,
But that's the thing, though. Those
can't
Christmas beers have
disappoint.
become a big thing.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
in Cleveland for a while, so we had Great Lakes, and they had the Christmas ale there.
Right.
And you'd be in Cleveland, and by mid-November, you could not find a case of this stuff anywhere.
Wow.
Because it was a big thing. And am I getting a little honey on the end of that too?
it's probably just from the malt,
Yeah.
from the amber, the caramel malts in there.
Yeah, because I really like how it finishes with the cinnamon. It's
so
really
good.
and it's a light drinking.
It is. It's not. I mean, it's dark, but it's not
We need a
heavy at
fire.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, this would be nice. Sit in front
It
of
was a
fire.
good winter beer,
sip
but it never
this,
became
yeah.
winter. So
No, and it really
Not
didn't.
though
We
it's
did
gonna be
not
30
get winter.
degrees, so it
Not
works out.
So did
complaining.
I.
Not complaining.
No, it works
This
out.
is really well
It
done.
is really
All
good.
the flavors are
Yeah.
really great, and and it finishes well, which is always a
does.
good thing.
And we'll keep it around. Well, we'll definitely do it every year now. Now we know that the demand's out there.
I'll be back for it.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
You can come on down and do a bottle share here anytime. Swamp Cabbage is open. Come on down, grab a picnic table, hang out, and try some of these great beers.
Yeah.
This is the Soda City Beer Show.